We have people from Jamaica, Dubai, Mexico, Minneapolis. Quite the diverse group here already. Nassau, Bahamas, Puerto Rico. Hey, Carl. Great. Well, I think we've given it a couple minutes. So Danielle, let's get started. For anyone who joins later, we will be recording this call and posting it to our YouTube. So if you have missed a little bit from the beginning, don't fret. All right, great. So welcome to our Discover Your Next Hospitality and Food Service Opportunity event. This is a monthly LinkedIn webinar that we do for the sole purpose of sharing our hot jobs or jobs in our pipeline that we're actively recruiting on. Also an opportunity for you to meet our recruiters and have a Q&A session at the end. So we'll go through the agenda for the next hour. We'll start with an introduction about DC Global Talent, also of the team members, and then we'll dive right into our current job opportunities. So anything we're sharing today is going to be a position that we currently have listed on our website and that you could apply directly online. We'll finish off with a Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat box. We will get to your questions at the end of the event just to keep things running smoothly and on time. And then we'll end with a few closing remarks. Great. So DC Global Talent is a hospitality and food service recruitment agency. We are highly specialized in only these two industries, which makes us very niche in what we do. Our markets are the Caribbean and Americas. So we work a lot with the West as well as the Caribbean islands. It's specifically in Sorry, we just asked that everyone mute themselves. Thank you. The business was established in 2016, and our mission really is to connect the top candidates with the best recruiters or the best organizations in the industry. And this business really came from the desire to provide people with exceptional opportunities in really beautiful destinations. A little snapshot about us. Again, founded in 2016. I am the CEO of the business, and within hospitality and food services, we focus primarily in the luxury and upscale market. So a lot of Forbes 5-star properties, AAA 5 Diamond, leading hotels of the world, small luxury hotels, Relais Chateau, fine hotels and resorts, you name it. And then we have a team of 6. And again, in the Caribbean and the Americas are the geographic regions in which we focus on. Here is also a snapshot of some of our clients. We could not fit them all in one page, but these are some of perhaps the more notable brands that you may recognize, starting with Fairmont, Four Seasons, Rosewood. We do work with One and Only, Kerzner Atlantis, a lot of work with IHG between Hotel Indigo and the Kimpton, as well as Wyndham, Eden Rock, and some other properties there more on the boutique side like Secret Bay, Silver Sands, which you may recognize as well. In regards to what we do, so we, again, are focused in luxury hospitality recruitment. So what that means is when a property has a need, whether that be a confidential hire, a pre-opening, a new position that was created, whatever the case, generally hotels will exhaust their own resources. And then when that position's just really been a hard to fill role, they come and use us as their recruitment partners. And so we are tasked with sourcing and screening candidates that best align with the qualifications and requirements of the role for that organization. So we do our best to try and match candidates appropriately. So if it is a boutique hotel, generally our clients are looking for candidates also with boutique hotel experience. If it is a property with over 300 keys and we're looking for a general manager, well, generally the hotels are also looking for someone who's managed an equal or similar size operation. And then that goes down to all departments. An example is if we're looking for a food and beverage manager who's going to oversee 5 outlets, then we look for someone who's also managed a similar size operation. So we're really specialized in tailoring our recruitment to the specific needs of the client, and we also support in candidate processes. So when we screen our candidates, we do provide consulting at no cost to the candidate. There's never a cost to the candidate in helping them prepare their resume as best as they can, or a food portfolio. And then we also support them with any interview suggestions and ways that they can put their best foot forward. And we do this by sharing as much information about the role and the ideal candidate profile as we can. We also support with scheduling interviews between the candidate and the client. We will do references, and we will be along right up until the offer stage and supporting with any negotiations that may need to happen. And then also once you move into the work permit process, should this position require a work permit, we're there to support you as well with any questions that you may have alongside the HR team of the hotel. And all of this to say that we are very personalized in our approach, and we do our best to be able to match the right talent to the property. We don't necessarily go out and find roles for candidates, but we're always keeping our pipeline of candidates in consideration for any jobs that arise. So if that means we spoke to you, let's say last month, and there was nothing that aligned with your profile then, or the position that you had interviewed for, client decided to move in a different direction, it does not mean that we won't reach out to you as soon as there is something that better aligns. So we definitely try and nurture our talent pool as best as we can. Now going into some introductions, I will take this part over, but you will hear from our recruiters once they speak about their own roles. So again, I'm Daniela. I am the CEO and founder of DC Global Talent. I am based in Toronto, and I have lived in a few places around the world. So I'm an avid traveler, and I love to explore new cultures. I've spent some time living in Florida, Brazil, Portugal, and lastly, I lived in the Cayman Islands. So I can really speak to the experience of living in the Caribbean. And I think that certainly helps when we are recruiting for these more remote destinations. Beside me there, I have Alma. She is our operations manager who oversees all the back end of operations. So when a position is posted online, that's Alma who has listed the role on our website. She's also managing all the communication from stages in which the candidates are in, and supports us overall on the day-to-day operations. And we are very thankful for her. Next, we have Danielle. Sorry, Musin, could you mute, please? Thank you. Next, we have Danielle, who is our marketing manager. Danielle put this event together and does all of our social channels. So anything you see on LinkedIn, Instagram, or our website design, Danielle is behind that. Both Danielle and Alma have also started doing some recruitment on our line level roles, and we're very proud to say they've been quite successful this year in supporting us with the lower level positions in which we have started to take on as well. So also very thankful for the two of them. Next, we have Catherine Small. Catherine is one of our senior recruitment specialists, primarily focusing on our culinary roles, but also very much involved in operations. She does have a culinary background as well, so she speaks very well to the profiles of candidates we seek within culinary positions. And she's awesome, so if you're a chef, please reach out to Catherine. Next, we have Nita, who's also one of our recruitment specialists, and she does all departments across the board, and also specializes in more of our senior level executive positions. And yeah, she's also great. And then we have Catherine, who unfortunately is not on the call today as she is on holidays. But Catherine is our newest recruiter who is doing also some of our more junior level positions. So you can expect to see a lot more of Catherine this year and going into next as well. Great. So again, just to highlight, our mission is to provide the best career opportunities to the brightest people with the greatest employers. We're very specific about the hotels and organizations in which we work with. We try our best to only work with the best employers, and we feel that this benefits our candidates and opportunities for growth, as well in service standards and training opportunities to excel, etc. So we are very much dedicated to staying within this niche. And you can rest assured that if we are advertising a role, the likelihood of that position being with an exceptional employer is very strong. Wonderful. So we're going to dive right into our career opportunities. And I believe we're starting with Nita.
Hi, everyone. Thank you all for joining, and nice to meet you all. So before we dive deep in there into my opportunities, just telling you a little bit about me. So I started off as a recruiter in banking and then found out that hospitality was way more fun. So then transitioned into hospitality, and here we are. So lived a couple of adventures there with DC, already been to traveled in a couple of places in the Caribbean, Puerto Rico, Colombia, St. Thomas as well in the US Virgin Islands. So been already going to complete 2 years with the company, and it's been a blast. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. And if you'd like to send your resume over or your profile or have a chat with the opportunities that we have, I'd be happy to entertain a chat with you. So let's dive right into those hot opportunities. Thanks, Danielle. So the first position that we have is for a Director of Public Relations and Communications for a marketing role. This position is for only U.S. citizens, since the employer is not fostering for any expats. So only U.S. citizens or Americans to be considered there for the position. And what they're looking for is basically someone that comes from the luxury hospitality, since they themselves are a Forbes luxury property. This person must have around 2 years there as a Director of Public Relations and Communications. So it's really going to come in to make those activations when it comes to campaign, social media, PR, as well as communications, to really drive revenue when it comes to their F&B outlets and give their F&B outlets more visibility, as well as the property. The salary is coming in $115K USD per year plus relocation. And yeah, located there in Nashville. Next opportunity, please. For this role, they're only considering their CARICOM national, since it is critical that this person has experience there within the Caribbean region. This property is for a new opening there in Barbados. And they're looking there for a Director of Sales and Marketing that's going to be reporting directly to the owners as well as C-level, so the CEO. This person's going to take on all marketing initiatives as well as sales, especially when it comes to transient leisure and specifically groups. Barbados is very well known for its transient and consortia sales, but not very much on the group side. So this position is very strategic when it comes to selling those groups. Like I said, only CARICOM nationals for this position, and the person must have, would be not mandatory, but preferred to have an all-inclusive experience there when it comes to hotels. Next position, please. The sales manager role, it is for a luxury boutique property there in Dominica. This property has about 20 villas, so very luxury and boutique. And what they're looking for is a sales manager that has experience within luxury, hospitality, but more focused to transient and leisure sales. So someone that's going to come in and really straighten and fortify those relationships with travel agents and really foster the property as well as the destination. Although there's no specific mention of being U.S. citizens, U.S. citizen, this position is remote, so the successful hire would have to be based in the eastern side of the U.S. So if not an American, at least someone that has good contacts there with travel agents in the U.S. in the eastern region, because that region basically is where the property gets most of its revenue. So yeah, luxury leisure sales for this one. Next position, please. Now, the spa manager can be from any nationality. It's a property there in the Cayman Islands, a luxury boutique property that receives a lot of celebrity type of clientele. It is also a luxury property, so it has about 43 rooms, but the spa operation is a considerably large operation with 10 treatment rooms, and the successful hire would be overseeing their staff of 12 people. Now, the ideal candidate within spa must have a 50-50 approach, and that is 50% on the operations side, so aware and knowledgeable on the treatments, on spa treatments, and then the other 50% is being well versed in terms of business acumen, so inventory, revenue, P&L, driving promotions there with other departments to boost the spa operation. So it can be from any nationality, and the salary is ranging there from 70 to 85, plus work permits and temporary accommodation. Next position, please. And lastly, the director of F&B and beverage position is only for U.S. citizens, as it is based in the U.S. and they're not sponsoring any work permits for expats. But basically what they're looking for is someone that has at least 2 years of experience as a director of F&B. And that also comes from the luxury hospitality space and open there for relocation to Minnesota. So that's all for my position, folks. If you feel that any of them relate there to your background, just email me at nita@dcglobaltalent.com. And yeah, thank you.
Great. Thank you, Anita. Now I will share the positions that I'm currently working on. All right, starting with Area Director of Food and Beverage. This position is for a restaurant group, so not suited for someone who is a Director of Food and Beverage historically only with hotels. We're looking for someone who's worked with a restaurant group and has managed multiple outlets. This role would be reporting directly to a VP of operations, so it's quite a senior role, and overseeing the entire portfolio within Jamaica. So that includes 16 outlets. This is quite a senior role. It does require complete relocation, but of course, work permits, relocation will be provided. The great thing about this role is it is a full expat package. So what that means is on top of the 120K USD salary, there would be full housing as well as a vehicle. So a really great role with a very ambitious group that has quite a large footprint in the Caribbean. They have both proprietary brands and international brands within their portfolio. And their proprietary brands, they do have plans on franchising. So really exciting for someone who has been involved in franchising restaurants, and then also someone who wants to really grow their career. This could certainly move into more of a regional and senior level role down the line. What could I say as well about this position? If you have experience developing concepts as well, that's great, because they are very open and ambitious in developing new brands themselves. So yeah, that's a bit about the role. Both QSR and full service, so QSR being quick serve. So I wouldn't hesitate to submit your resume if you have experience managing, let's say like Starbucks, Dairy Queen, outlets like that, in addition to full service restaurants, so dining in. So it is a combination of both, and a really exciting opportunity based in Montego Bay. Next, we have a director of purchasing. We just got this role yesterday, so it is a hot job. This position is based in the Caribbean, in Nevis in specific, and the salary is net, so that's 70,000 USD net, in addition to 1,000 USD net for housing. So you get an additional 12,000 USD annually, which would be paid out monthly. The opportunity is open to someone who has been a director of purchasing for a minimum of 2 years within a hotel, and you do have to have 5 years of purchasing experience within hotels. So if you're coming from a restaurant group, I would say it's not a good fit for you. They're very specific in that they're looking for someone who's working within hotels, although of course food and beverage procurement is going to be a part of the position. This role does report into the Director of Finance. It is also part of the Executive Committee, so you would be eligible for the annual incentive plan. So it is a Forbes property, a luxury 5-star hotel, a really well-recognized international brand. We spoke about this brand earlier when I shared our clients. Just a really wonderful opportunity. So if you or someone you know may be a great fit for the role, then I certainly encourage you to email me directly or apply through our website. We opened this position yesterday and we already have 4 interviews scheduled coming up this week. So it is a hot job. I don't expect it to be open for very long, but we are very much excited to connect with new candidates and share more. All right, great. So next we have the Director of Sales and Marketing position. This is also with the restaurant group. Someone who has done Director of Sales and Marketing in cruise ships or hotels could certainly work, as well as restaurant groups. This role would definitely be involved in working with external vendors, airlines, cruise ships, different travel consortia to ensure that tourists coming into Jamaica and as well as locals are staying up to date on all of the outlets that they have within their portfolio, any promotions, events taking place, and really keeping things fresh and exciting on socials. It does require some travel to different events periodically, but this role is based in Jamaica, also an executive role, so it would be housing included as well as a vehicle. And just to share, so all the positions I had mentioned previously, work permits would be issued, and nationality does not matter as long as you have the necessary requirements for the role. However, any position that we share in the US, so this one here in front of me, the executive chef in Minnesota, work permits are not sponsored or not available for the positions we have in the US. So for any role that we mention in the US, you do need to be a permanent resident or a citizen. The position I have here as an executive chef is with an autograph collection property, so part of the Marriott portfolio, and which they consider a luxury boutique hotel. It is not a very large F&B operation. It is 2 F&B outlets in addition to in-room dining and banquets. But we are looking for an executive chef to really keep the service standards very high, to be training and developing the team, overseeing cost control, P&L, developing menus, and keeping things fresh and exciting for the guests. This role is at 100,000 USD per year, in addition to the standard benefits that you would expect, such as health insurance, 401k, paid time off, etc. A great employer. It is our client is actually a management company, so they have a number of different hotels under their portfolio. We have seen candidates transition throughout the portfolio for senior level positions when they become available. So it is a great opportunity not only to work with a Marriott brand, but to be under a very strong management group. All right, next. So this is a very exciting role. I think it's a prepared foods manager / executive chef, for a grocery retailer in the BVI. So the retailer has 7 locations in the BVI, one main location, which is, I believe, 50,000 square feet, so quite a large retail store, and then one kitchen. And the prepared foods manager would be preparing the hot foods, packaged foods, ensuring that the packaged foods not only taste great, but that there is a wide selection for the customers of the grocery chains. This is also a part of a larger subsidiary. The employer in the BVI is a part of a larger subsidiary company that's actually publicly traded. It is, I think we lost our presentation. Just a minute. Sorry about that. All right, there we go. So the company is a part of a larger subsidiary that's actually a publicly traded company. They have, I believe, 6 different brands under their portfolio, and it's very recognized across the Caribbean and North America. So I think this is a great opportunity for someone who's been working as a prepared foods manager within a grocery store or an executive chef for a grocery store. Someone in restaurants or hotels will not translate. They would not be considered for the position. So just to keep that in mind when applying, that if you do receive a disqualification email, it's not because your resume isn't great. It's simply because we are specifically looking for someone with grocery experience for this role. All right, great. So this is a great opportunity as well. It's a food and beverage manager for actually 3 hotels, and they are all boutique luxury hotels. Of course, a work permit will be provided. You do need to be Spanish speaking for this role. So if you do not speak Spanish, we would not be able to consider you. It's also a luxury hotel. So within those 3 portfolios, we have one that is a Relais Chateau property, one that's a leading hotel to the world, and they've received exceptional awards recently and have obtained really great accolades, being a #1 hotel on Condé Nast Travel for the America or Central America, I believe. So just a wonderful property, very unique properties, again, in a boutique luxury. So the food and beverage manager will need experience managing multi-outlet. Full housing is provided for this role. The salary is $54,000 USD, so that's $4,500 per month plus full housing. Families are welcome for this role as well. You would, of course, receive the annual flight home, paid time off, health insurance, relocation, all of that good stuff. We are open to an assistant food and beverage manager, but what's important here that the client wants is someone with high standard, high service, luxury experience. So we are looking for someone who has experience with properties with high ADR and service level standards as well. All right, great. So that wraps it up for me. I didn't talk about all the positions that I'm currently working on. We're trying to keep it at the roles that are like pretty hot right now, although honestly all of our roles are hot right now. So I do encourage you also to check our website. And with that being said, I'm going to pass it on to Catherine.
Hi everyone, I'm Catherine. I'm actually originally from the Philippines and now in Cape Town, South Africa. All right, so I've been in hospitality recruitment for the last 15 years, okay? I love eating. So, I can't get out of, this plate because all I ask is actually food portfolio, and with DC, I've been with DC for almost 3 years. All right. So our motivation and, our obsession is actually giving the right position and exciting roles with our candidates. We help them as much as possible, to tailor your resume and what our clients are looking for in terms of the candidates moving forward. So if we are not, having interviews and not responding to your emails because we don't have the perfect fit for you, but rest assured that we're gonna get back to you as soon as opportunity opens. All right. So to start with, I have some exciting position for a Mediterranean sous chef, okay, for number one hotel, okay, in Costa Rica. So we have recruited some people for this company. It's an amazing opportunity, not just because of the property, but because of the executive chef. It's actually very experimental. Us being a chef, we don't want to be like reprimanded of how creative we can be in our menu, in our management. So Mediterranean sous chef needs to have, a Lebanese, the Eastern Mediterranean cuisine. Unfortunately, this one needs to be, the candidate needs to speak Spanish because the brigade is actually Spanish speaker. One thing that is exciting with this company as well is that they are 20% of their kitchen brigade is actually doing English proficiency at the moment. Kudos to this actually employer. What an amazing opportunity. So, and the second one is Italian chef de cuisine. We need someone who's actually experienced with the Italian cuisine, because even though it's a fine dining, the company wants the cucina de nonna, the real classic Italian dishes, and innovate to the modern plating. So send it to me, send me your colleagues or anyone who will fit in this position, and let's see how it goes. Next slide, please. So we need an executive sous chef for a restaurant group that is based in Rhode Island. What's exciting about this company is that it gives an exciting opportunity not only to be an employee, but they also have shares that they're giving to their candidates, full on 401k, and we need someone who's actually in the US because it will be lengthy to actually issue a sponsorship in terms of work permit. It's actually giving $68,000 per year, okay? Regardless of where you are in the US, if you want to relocate to Newport and experience the seafood side, this will be a position for you. Next slide, please. So we need a maintenance manager for a 56 boutique luxury hotel, okay, based in the Caribbean. Okay, they also have a 10 luxury residential, a big spa, okay, and also they actually giving a flight ticket, relocation, no nationality required, as long as you have the 5-star luxury hotel and boutique hotel, this would be the position for you. Next slide, please. Property chef, so it's also based in the Caribbean. Maybe some of you would be thinking, what is property chef? So this boutique hotel has 4 outlets. Okay, one of their main flagship outlet do actually cater from 300 to 400. It's a busy type of hotel, not a conventional hotel, but more onto the lifestyle, membership, and also the taste of the Caribbean with the twist of Mediterranean. Okay, so they give 100,000 per year tax-free. Okay, they will provide relocation. I am looking for a chef whose management style, organization skills, putting cost, the food costing, maybe 28% up to 30, and manage people from 60 to 70. Okay, a strong leadership skills, strong in communication, managing international staff member, because this property also has a diversity of different nationality from Central America to US to North America and other Asian and European countries. Next slide, please. So we also have, this is another part of the Rhode Island restaurant group. In their brand, there's 16 outlets with different types of cuisines and forte in terms of their outlets. Okay, so they also give like what I said, shares with the company, full on benefits. If 85,000 per year for the perfect fit candidate. Okay, one thing that I do love about this company is that if there's another opening and they see that you fit really with their 16 outlets, once we send you to the candidate, they'll look for a position for you. So it's exciting. Please share this with your colleagues and friends, and let's see how it goes. I think that's it for me. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Catherine. Great. So I know we've shared a lot of positions. Again, those are not all of what we have. I believe we're sitting on about 40 roles right now, 40 or 42. And half of those positions we don't have candidates in interview stages for. So certainly still a great opportunity to apply. And I'll review with you what steps you can take in getting your resume submitted. So to start, I recommend that you visit our careers website to have a list of all of our open roles. If you go to dcglobaltalent.ca/careers and click on open opportunities, you can see all of the positions we're actively recruiting on. So if a role is listed on our website, that means we're still submitting candidates. If you saw a position last week and it's no longer on there, likely that we have filled the position, so we've taken the role down. So I suggest you apply directly online. Another way that you can review our jobs is on LinkedIn. So we're actively posting on LinkedIn, sharing value, whether it be our jobs or tips, news in hospitality, etc. So you can join there. And then thirdly, you can reach out to the recruiter directly. So lucky for you, you've had the chance to view all of the recruiter's emails. So you can email your resume directly and we will schedule a call. This is what our careers website looks like through the mobile app. Once you click the job, it will take you to the job description. So I do encourage you to only apply to positions that match your qualifications. It's always a pain for all of us to have to disqualify someone, not because of the work that it takes to review your resume, because we will often match you to another role that may fit your requirements better, but it's just not fun sending an email to a candidate that they don't qualify for the position. And it often has nothing to do with the candidate, it's simply the requirements don't fit. So obviously if we're recruiting in the US and you do not have your PR or US citizenship, then we will be disqualifying you. Or if you're applying for a position in Costa Rica and you don't speak Spanish, we will be disqualifying you. So there's several different reasons in which you may not be moved into an interview with us, but rest assured that if you apply, your resume is stored in our database. All right, great. So we'll open it up for Q&A now. So why don't we start with some questions? So feel free to drop any questions you have, and we will take on the answers between the team. So I'm seeing a lot of thank yous. I appreciate that. In terms of room attendant positions, we have recently filled all of our room attendant positions, so we don't have anything right now. But we did get an exciting call yesterday from a hotel that's opening in Turks and Caicos that will require some line level positions. So we are just waiting on to finalize the details of those positions and the packages. And so soon we will have line level positions. I'm hoping to begin advertising these roles by next week. So if you're looking for a position in line level or supervisor, so more of the entry level positions, please do keep an eye on our website and our LinkedIn page. To Lee, we don't currently have any positions in the GTA, which for those who don't know is the Greater Toronto area, for culinary roles. Canada is actually a market we do very little work in. but we do have positions outside of Canada. In regards to front office, Omar, we recently closed a front office manager position in the Cayman Islands, actually with the Kimpton Sea Fire. So we don't have one right now, but we are going into our busiest season in the Caribbean specifically, with peak season just around the corner. So I do anticipate that we'll be advertising some more front office manager roles or front office positions very soon.
Housekeeping.
Yeah, so as mentioned, right now we don't have any housekeeping positions, but we should be getting some soon. We do have an engineering manager role. It's advertised as an engineer supervisor, but it is a number 2 position or maintenance supervisor. So you can find that job listed on our website. So please feel free to apply directly on there. We do not work with cruise ships. We're pretty specific in working with luxury or boutique upscale hotels. We do also have, we don't currently have any pastry chef roles, but Catherine this year has recruited a few pastry chefs, not to say we won't get any in a couple weeks. So I think sort of the theme here is if we don't have a position right now, it doesn't mean that we won't have a position in a week's time or a couple weeks. So please don't be discouraged. Just stay looking at our website. And to answer John's question, we do get a lot of senior leadership roles as well. This year we had the pleasure of recruiting a VP of marketing, a VP of HR, and as well as F&B. We do have a food VP of F&B role right now that's based in either Miami or Puerto Rico. And so we do get C-suite executive roles. They don't come as often in full transparency, but we do certainly get them from time to time. And like I mentioned, just this year, we've recruited a few. And we do have a food and beverage director role right now in Miami. I did not share this opportunity on the event, but it is a position that we currently have with a really great employer as well. Catherine, do you want to take on any of these questions?
I'm actually more excited, Daniela, of you sharing, like, you know, you just been to Caribbean, okay, and meet up personally the people that we have successfully transitioned, you know, through DC, and maybe it would be amazing to share something of the feedback, you know, to the people that, you know, with us today.
Sure, absolutely. So just a couple weeks ago, I was in the Cayman Islands, and we had the pleasure of opening the Indigo Hotel, which is the sister property to the Kimpton Sea Fire, both under the IHG umbrella. They're neighboring partners, really great companies to work for. We're big fans of them. And we had recruited over a dozen managers and senior managers, many in the culinary department that Catherine had the pleasure of recruiting. So from sous chefs, chefs de cuisines, executive sous chefs, pastry chefs, all came through us. We also recruited the assistant F&B director, the F&B manager, some beverage managers, food and beverage managers, the director of housekeeping. And I did get the opportunity to meet with these candidates in person and get their feedback. And it was just wonderful to see how happy that they were with their current jobs and with the opportunity. All of them had to relocate, so it was a new and exciting opportunity. And I don't always get the chance to meet candidates in person, as I'd have to be on a plane weekly to do so. But it was really great. So I can share that these roles that we have, we do try our best to work with only the best employers. So the feedback is what we received in Cayman, which was very positive. We actually I met with 4 different hotels where we had recruited for all 4 of the hotels. And then we also did quite a bit of work with grocery retailers and food and beverage distributors in the Caribbean. So I met with store managers of grocery stores, chemical sales reps, just some really exciting opportunity for me to meet with the candidates. And I did shoot some videos, so you can keep an eye out on Instagram and LinkedIn for us to share those reviews. And then back to the questions here. The process, to answer Robert's question, which is how is the process after applying and how long is the process? So it really depends on a few factors. When you apply for a position, we try our best to get back to our candidates within 48 hours, and then you would be asked to schedule a call. So you can schedule a call within the week. Generally, we have time in our calendar within that week. And if you qualify for the role, we would immediately send your resume after we've spoken to you. Our clients are pretty responsive, I would say. So generally, we get some feedback within the week, and then we will begin scheduling interviews. Some interviews are 3-step processes. So either sometimes the hiring manager, followed by an online assessment, then the HR director, and then the general manager. So there are some steps that it takes until you get to an offer stage. But once you get to that offer stage and you've signed the offer, work permits can take as little as 2 weeks to as long as 6 months. It really depends on the islands. Almost every island we work with takes between 2 weeks to a month to get a work permit. And then generally our candidates will put their notice period in once a work permit is approved, and then begin working a month later. So from the date in which an offer is sent until a start date can vary between a month to 2 months, depending on notice period. The island of Turks and Caicos is the one island we have a challenge with in work permits because those take very long, but we are pretty transparent with our candidates about that. So we'll let you know if there's anything specific to that market that will make the process longer. But we try and work with efficiency to ensure that at least we're getting into the next step as frequently as we can. In regards to pizza chefs, we don't have any right now. We have recruited pizza chefs this year. At the moment, we don't have any executive sous chef positions. We do have both in Turks and Caicos and in the United States. For Deep Raj, who has mentioned that he is an Indian citizen living in Dubai, absolutely, you can apply for any of our roles. We don't have a food and beverage attendant position. As I mentioned right now, we don't have any line level roles outside of concierge and front desk agent. However, we will be getting some line level positions over the next couple of weeks. So please do keep an eye on our website. And I think that answers most of the questions. But if Nita or Catherine have any final remarks, I'd love to give them the stage.
Yeah, there's an actual question here from John. So John put in, how often do senior leadership and C-suite positions become available, food and beverage or operations? So it depends on our pipeline, John. So it varies, but right now I'm actually working on a VP of food and beverage position. So that is one of the C-suite opportunities that we have at the moment. So if you'd like to send me your resume, I'd love to entertain a chat with you and see if you'd be interested. So just to reply to that question there. But yeah, I guess aside from that, thank you all for joining, and you can see our positions on our website or send us directly to our emails or on LinkedIn. We'll try to reply as quickly as possible. But yeah, those are my closing remarks. Catherine?
I think just a reminder to the chefs, you need to keep a food portfolio, okay, and make sure, because it eliminates a lot of steps, okay, with the hiring managers, especially with the executive chefs, so let's keep that in mind. Use Instagram as much as you can. You can also do your own website through, low cost and easy to maintain, like GoDaddy, okay, just to keep all your profiles, so that even though you lose your email access, you lose your phone, your laptop, everything is still gonna be on the website or on social media. That's all with me. Thank you.
Thanks for the reminder, Catherine. And then just to wrap things up here, we're sharing again our links. You can find us on social media at DC Global Talent, our website, dcglobaltalent.ca, and our LinkedIn page, also DC Global Talent.
Amazing. Thank
Finally,
you. Thank you
for
all.
attending, everyone. You will receive an email from us just with, I believe, either a survey or a link to leave a review. We really appreciate it if you can drop us a review if you've enjoyed this event, and feel free to let us know what other topics you'd like to see.
Yes.
We have put a poll on LinkedIn every month, and it seems to be the trend that you all want to know about what the open roles that we currently have are. So it's what we've kept going and doing. But of course, if there's any other topics that you want to learn about or we can add more insight on, then we're certainly open to receiving your feedback. Thanks again, everyone.